If you've spent any time with your hands in the soil, you already know this truth. Gardens aren't built by plants alone. Something unseen is working quietly beneath the surface, shaping roots, feeding growth, and deciding whether your garden merely survives or truly thrives. On Soil Stories, we talk a lot about listening to the land. Today I want to introduce, or well, maybe reintroduce, you to the secret gardener you can't ignore. The living soil itself, and more specifically, the vast underground network of microbes and fungi that do most of the real work for us. This isn't gardening theory for textbooks or labs. This is practical, dirt-under-the-nails knowledge that can change how your garden performs season after season. Once you understand this secret gardener, you stop fighting nature and start partnering with it. Every time you step into your garden, you're walking over a living city. Billions of bacteria, miles of fungal threads, protozoa, nematodes, and earthworms are all interacting in ways that directly affect your plants. These organisms break down organic matter, unlock nutrients, improve soil structure, and protect roots from disease. They are the reason a plant in healthy soil can outperform a fertilized plant in dead dirt. Fungi deserve special attention here, especially mycorrhizal fungi. These microscopic partners attach themselves to plant roots and extend far into the soil, increasing a plant's access to water and nutrients, sometimes by 10 times or more. In exchange, the plant feeds the fungi sugars made through photosynthesis. It's not charity, it's a trade agreement perfected over millions of years. When this system is intact, plants grow stronger with less input from us. But when it's broken, we end up compensating with fertilizers, pesticides, and constant watering. The secret gardener doesn't ask for much, but ignoring it comes at a cost. One of the biggest myths in gardening is that feeding plants is about feeding roots directly. In reality, most plants don't want raw nutrients dumped on them. They want those nutrients processed, balanced, and delivered gradually. That's the soil food web at work. You know, microbes take complex organic matter, like compost, mulch, and decaying roots, and well, they turn it into plant-available nutrients at exactly the rate plants can use. This kind of process prevents nutrient burn, reduces leaching, and honestly, creates steady, resilient growth. That's actually why plants grown in living soil often taste better, resist pests more effectively, and, yeah, handle stress like drought or heat with far more grace. For gardeners who've struggled with weak seedlings, yellowing leaves, or plants that just stall out mid-season, the problem often isn't the plant itself, it's the soil life, or sometimes the lack of it. Many of us were taught to garden in ways that, well, quietly sabotage soil life. Frequent digging, synthetic fertilizers, and chemical pesticides disrupt microbial communities and break fungal networks apart. Bare soil exposed to sun and rain loses moisture and organic matter, making it harder for life to survive below. This doesn't mean tools or inputs are evil. It just means they need to be used with awareness. Soil life thrives in stable environments where organic matter is continuously added and disturbance is minimal. When we constantly reset the soil, the secret gardener never gets a chance to settle in and do its job. The good news is that soil is incredibly forgiving. With the right practices, life returns faster than most people expect. The biggest shift you can make as a gardener is changing who you're feeding. When you focus on feeding the soil, plants take care of themselves. Compost is the cornerstone of this approach, not just as a fertilizer, but as an inoculant. Good compost introduces beneficial microbes while also providing food for the ones already present. Mulch is another powerful ally. Organic mulches like straw, leaves, wood chips, or grass clippings protect the soil surface, regulate temperature, retain moisture, and, slowly decompose into food for microbes. Under mulch, fungal networks flourish, earthworms multiply, and soil structure improves naturally. Liquid inputs like compost tea or fermented plant extracts can also help, especially in depleted soils. Used correctly, they boost microbial populations and jumpstart biological activity around plant roots. How you water matters just as much as what you add to the soil. Soil organisms, they need oxygen and moisture in balance. If you overwater, you end up suffocating those microbes. But if the soil gets too dry, it sends them into dormancy or, honestly, just kills them outright. Deep, infrequent watering, it really encourages roots to grow down, where soil life is more stable and moisture tends to last a lot longer. On the other hand, shallow, frequent watering keeps roots near the surface and, creates this boom and bust cycle for your microbes. If your soil drains poorly or, crusts on top, that's often a sign that biological activity is low. But as soil life increases, structure improves, and water just starts to move through the soil a whole lot more naturally. Plants themselves are not just passive elements in our gardens, they're active participants in soil health. Through their roots, they release sugars, enzymes, and signaling compounds that attract specific microbes. It's fascinating, really. Different plants feed different communities, which is why having a diversity in the garden matters so much. Cover crops and green manures. They're especially powerful tools. Even in the smallest of gardens, growing plants purely to nourish the soil can pay off massively. Their roots keep those essential microbes alive year-round, prevent erosion, and add organic matter when you cut them back. It's a simple yet effective strategy. Now, leaving roots in the ground after harvest, that's another helpful practice. Instead of pulling plants out, just cut them at the base. The roots then decompose in place, feeding soil organisms and leaving channels for air and water. It's a natural way to enrich the soil, without much effort at all. Working with the secret gardener really does require patience. You're not out there forcing growth, you're just creating the right conditions. Improvements, they happen gradually, but they sure do compound over time. Soil that's cared for this year will perform better next year, and even better the year after that. This right here is what makes soil-focused gardening so powerful and, honestly, so sustainable. Instead of always reacting to problems, you're building a system that prevents a lot of them from happening in the first place. Even experienced gardeners are often surprised by how quickly plants respond once soil life rebounds. Stronger growth, fewer pests, and better yields aren't accidents. They're signals that the underground partnership is working. Once you truly understand the role of soil life, gardening feels less like a battle and more like a collaboration. You're no longer the only gardener in the plot. You're managing an entire workforce that operates 24/7 for free. On Soil Stories, this is the heart of what we explore. Not quick fixes, but deep-rooted wisdom that stands the test of time. The secret gardener you can't ignore has been here long before us, and if we let it, it will take our gardens further than any product ever could. If this way of gardening resonates with you, stay connected. Subscribe to Soil Stories for more practical, soil-centered insights. Share this with a fellow gardener who's ready to grow smarter. And let's keep these stories and these soils alive for generations to come.